Well, good morning. Today we're going to be looking at simplifying expressions. Now, in this we also have an expression that has just our regular numbers, it has squares, it has multiplication, it has division, it has everything. So we're going to walk through it little bit by little bit and make our way to the end. So let's go ahead and start with our order of operations. In particular, let's look at our exponents. And so we have exponents here, here, and here. Parentheses technically have to happen first, but what that actually means is we have to do what's inside the parentheses. And so when we look inside the parentheses, what we see is 17 plus 1, and we see 1 divided by 3. Well, the 1 divided by 3, that doesn't simplify except for a repeating decimal, and we don't want to have repeating decimals because I can't write that. I don't have enough space. The 17 plus 1, we can do that first before our exponents. It just doesn't happen to change our answer whether we do the exponents first or our 17 plus 1 first because they're not interacting with one another yet. So let's go and do that 17 plus 1 first. 17 plus 1 is 18. And that's being multiplied by. Notice when I say multiply, it's not just because of the parentheses I'm writing, it's because of the symbol between the parentheses. Right here in between is that multiplication. And it's because there is no symbol written when we write that other set of parentheses 1/3. So right here, smack dab in the middle, because there's nothing written, that represents multiplication. So go ahead and undo, go ahead and erase that arrow. Come on, you can do it. There it goes. And so I'll go ahead and put down the square. And then we still have our -4 cubed being added and our 9 squared being added. Let's go ahead and tackle our exponents here. 9 squared, an exponent just represents repeated multiplication. So that means we're having 2 9s being multiplied by one another. 9 times 9 is 81. Next, we have the 4 cubed. 4 times 4 times 4. Well, 4 times 4 is 16. Multiplied by 4 again is 64. 3 4s being multiplied by each other, so that's 64 here. And then we have the square on our 1/3. 1/3, the fraction represents repeated division. So essentially we're asking what happens when you divide by 3 and then you divide by 3 again. Well, when you divide by 3 the first time and then you divide by 3 the second time, you're technically dividing by 9. But here's another way to see it actually written out. The square represents repeated multiplication. What I'm multiplying is the fraction. So I'll go ahead and write my plus sign here. I have 1/3 multiplied by 1/3. When you multiply fractions together, you just multiply straight across. Multiply the tops together and multiply the bottoms together. So we have the 1 times 1 on top, which just gives us 1, and the 3 times 3 on bottom, which gives us the 9. And then, of course, multiplied by 18, because that 18 hasn't changed. That just drops down multiplied by 18. Notice I'm writing the parentheses. Again, the parentheses don't mean multiplication. Parentheses just means to group. The reason why I know it's multiplication is because there's no symbol written between the parenthesis and the 1/9. So I'll go ahead and take care of that arrow again. Now, I'll drop down everything else that we've written so far. We still have our -64 right here, and we still have our 81 right here. I'll just go ahead and pull up our handy dandy calculator real quick. Boop. All right, cast your predictions now. 81 minus 64, if I remember right, it's 25, but it never hurts to be careful. Wait, 81 minus 64. 17! I was way off. I'm so glad that I did that mathematical calculation there. 17 is the answer we're looking for. You can tell I need to drink more coffee because I totally botched that prediction right there. So we have the 17 plus 1/9 times 18 And remember, multiplying by a fraction is division. So essentially, we're saying 18 divided by 9. Well, 18 divided by 9 is 2. So we have 17 plus 2. So our answer is 19. I hope that helped. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. Looking forward to seeing you guys soon.